Hello, it's Tom again. And today's video is about safes and warrants and, well, unfortunately, politics. Because I did a hot take on Liberty Safe, and then I did a video going over what I got wrong on my hot take with Liberty Safe. I got a message on one of those videos. I'll link them both below. And, well, I'll just go over the message first in sections because it's quite silly. Missing the point completely. A locked safe requires a separate warrant. They didn't have that. Interesting. So, and again, full disclosure, I was a former federal officer. That ended in about 2008 to 2009. I think my end of service was December 08. Now, when a judge provides a warrant, they put they make it as broad or as restricted as they see fit based on the evidence that the applying agency has provided. For a search warrant for a private residence, it's usually not going to be that restricted. And if it just covers everything in the home, it doesn't matter if you have a safe that's locked or unlocked, unless there's something carving out exceptions. Your safe is part of that warrant. Okay, next. Liberty took a phone call from an unverified FBI agent over an unsecured phone, glanced at an unverified email showing a general warrant, and then illegally, or at the very least unethically, gave the FBI private information from a third-party position. Wow, that's a long sentence with a whole lot of not as professional language as you might suspect. So, unverified FBI agent. That's what the electronic communications are for following the phone call. Okay, here is my ID number with the FBI. Here is the search warrant with the judge's signature, going over what is in the search warrant and what is covered by it, and it grants us lawful entry. Let's see, unsecured phone. Now this is how you know the guy's that doesn't know what they're talking about. Liberty Safe doesn't have secure telephone units. That's more of a government thing. The Stu 3s, I think there might be Stu 4s or even more. I'm way out of date on that stuff, but I can assure you, you don't just give anybody access to a Stu phone. Certainly not Liberty Safe. They're not that important. So, and even if it wasn't, like, I don't see how having a secure telephone unit would make this more or less legal or ethical. That's just silly. Illegally, well, no, the warrant actually gave them legal access. Unethically, that's something that could be debated. Now, as a private citizen, if the police are asking me to help cooperate or give them information, well, if they're asking about somebody who the problem is their kid's running a lemonade stand down the street, yeah, the police can go the hell away. If the police are asking me about somebody who posted pictures and video of himself on the internet and confessions of what he did on the internet, and then attempted to delete them, and it was part of a broader action, a very large, violent, and potentially rises to the realm of serious charges like terrorism or sedition, and some people have actually been convicted of sedition, then ethically speaking, yes, I can cooperate with the police. That checks out. That is what an ethical person would do. Um, the idea that I could take this flash drive, which contains the PP tape and Hillary Clinton's emails and the evidence from the 2020 election. The Pillow Guy does not have it because I do. That's why he hasn't released it yet. And I put it in here. And I close this. And the police are allowed to search it when they show up at my house with a warrant because they want the PP tape and the emails and the 2020 evidence. But now I lock it. And now they're not allowed to enter this because First Alert says this is a fire safe. That's why I keep all that evidence in there, so if there's a fire, it won't be destroyed. Now the police have to have a separate warrant? Get out of here. That's absurd. Also, if you believed anything I said about what is on that flash drive, well, yeah, you should take a look at my other video, also linked below, on sheep and wolves. No, let's see. They went on, they talked about leftist Apple demanding a subpoena and going to court to fight the subpoena. Okay, that would be a case where the company had an ethical standard that said, we will not provide the information voluntarily, we need to be compelled. That is also a principled and ethical take. But the term leftist here tells me this isn't at all about legal. This is about politics. And when you're trying to apply politics to a search warrant, then it's not really about politics at all, is it? It's really about, personal insecurities. And again, take a look at the 3 videos I will link below. 2 of them are shorts. They're very quick and easy to get through. Let's see, the final part is, don't get me wrong, the 3-letter agencies will always get into whatever they want. Well, if they have a warrant, they will. But they should have to work at it. They do. That's the portion of gathering enough evidence to convince a judge to grant them legal access. And they should follow the law. They did. They went through the whole due process thing. Getting the warrant signed by a judge. And there should be evidence of that access. There is. There's the warrant. There's the objects they obtained from the safe, all of which gets documented and bagged into evidence, the receipt given to the person provided the search or to their legal representative. So, this had nothing to do with... every complaint here is, at the end, is just a whole bunch of things that... They're standards that were met. I don't understand the whole complaint here. All that was done. So, maybe look into what your true motivations are, because I don't think, the individual making these arguments actually understands what their own motivations are. And that is how... That's a classic case of people taking advantage of you when you find yourself making statements like that. And, everything you think is wrong and hasn't been done actually demonstrably has been done.